Hey, I'm Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth, the new implementation of Seven Wonders Duel, which is one of my favorite games in the past, I don't know, 5-6 years. But I played Duel for Middle-earth a couple days ago. I played as the bad guys, and I really enjoyed it. Really had a great first impression of my first play. And I was surprised by the number of similarities combined with how the game feels different due to a few key differences. And one of the key elements there that ties them all together is the idea of tempo. Tempo is crucial in this game, and let me show you while I'm talking about it, because in a couple different ways. The core mechanism is that on your turn, generally, you are taking a fully exposed card from this middle area. There are a couple different setups depending on the round of the game. But so if it's my turn right now, I could choose either this red card or this purple card. I can either pay for the card based on the cost. Sometimes I might have already played a card that lets me get this card for free, or I can discard this card to gain 1, 2, or 3 cards, depending on whether it's round 1, 2, or 3. This is a key part of the tempo of the game that is similar to the original Seven Wonders Duel in that, say, if I take this purple card, I am going to reveal this card that the other player might take, and that might be a card that they really need. And the reason this is important throughout the game is that there are 3 instant end game conditions. You can win the game by reaching the end of the ring track. You can, or by there are 2 different ways to do that depending on who you are, but it's essentially reaching a certain point on the ring track by having 6 different symbols on green cards, some of which come on these little tokens here, or by controlling all 7 regions of Middle-earth. There's no points in this game. Unlike Seven Wonders Duel, there's no way to win the game by points. So this tempo, every time you will reveal a card, especially later in the game, you have the potential of instantly winning the game for the other player because of the card that you reveal, whether that's a face down or face up card. Like this green card is face up. This could be an end game condition for the other player. So this tempo is a huge part of the game when you reveal which cards and which cards you actually reveal. The other part of this, though, that I think is unique compared to the original game is that the related to this area in the middle of the board, these towers, you can put towers on the different areas of the board to ensure that you always have a presence in, so you don't even need control. You just need a presence on these 7 different territories. And you get these towers. They're the equivalent of the wonders in the original Seven Wonders Duel, but they do a few different things. And there are these tiles over here that are a little bit in the background. But the key element here is that you don't take a card when you build a wonder. So this is distinctly different from Seven Wonders Duel, when you always must take a card on your turn. This is a way to mix up the tempo. So say on my turn, I am really worried about revealing one of these face down cards. Instead of taking a card from this tableau, I can choose to build a monument. If I'm able to, I have to be able to pay for it. And in doing so, I do not take a card from the center tableau, which disrupts the tempo of the game in ways that can be critical to winning or losing the game. So I really thought this was a clever addition there. And in that way, the game really isn't a tug of war game anymore. There are mild tug of war elements, but they've taken what was a tug of war game, back and forth on a military track. You're pulling back and forth in terms of who's jockeying for these green cards. There's a little bit of that left, but now it's really a race to these 3 different end game conditions with no points involved, which I thought was really clever. But I love how the game mixes up tempo, both tempo elements from the original Seven Wonders Duel in terms of the card display, and the tempo of not taking a card and instead building a tower, which can really have huge impacts on your ability to win or lose the game. So yeah, that's my favorite mechanism of Seven Wonders Duel, this idea of tempo and how it's built into every aspect of the game, the instant win conditions, the card display, the towers. I thought that was really clever. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Duel for Middle-earth. If you have a favorite mechanism in the game, let me know in the comments below. Thanks.